Why is recruitment one of those businesses where you can make a lot of money with not as much work? Okay, let me make this make sense. So let's say you've got any B2B business, even B2C businesses. Like, when you're having to deal with businesses or anyone, you have to keep doing the deal over and over and over again. That is super annoying, right? It's super, super annoying. But when it comes to recruitment now, well, when you do marketing, you go to one business, right? Where this is a business basically. You go to a business, you supply them a service, and then let's say you make £3,000, which by the way is a lot of money, right? Let's say you make £3,000 supplying marketing services to one business. It's very difficult now for you to make £10,000 with one business. And when it comes to B2B, even B2C, you supply them a service, right? You supply them a service, and that is it. Like you need to find another business. So then you would need to find another business here, then you need to find another business here, and that's kind of how it works, right? But that is a lot of work. Having said that, when it comes to recruitment, this is what happens. When you supply a business and they say, you know what, yes, we are actually looking for someone. We're looking for someone as an engineer. So you find the engineer 40K, you make 15%, and therefore you make £6,000. Remember, they have 100 to 120 to 150 and sometimes even more employees. And so if they have that many employees, what you do is you supply them a good service. And what did I say to you guys in like a half an hour ago? I said, well, I got into a company, and that same company went on to make me more than £100,000 every single year for the last 8 years. Alhamdulillah, Allah bless me on that, right? Why? But by the way, we've worked with many, many companies, and obviously I'm just giving that one company example. Well, what did I do? Well, you see, with that one company, what I did is I got into their business, but then I said, well, actually, we do engineering, but is there anything else I can help you with? So that company slowly, what they started doing is they would give me an engineer role, then they would give me a sales role, then they would give me, quality, let's say. So this one business, I was basically finding multiple people for them over, every single month. And this is why recruitment is one of those business models, because actually, this £6,000 is just one person. So you supply that person, they give you £6,000. But then if that business turns around and says, yeah, we need an engineer, we need a salesperson, we need HR, we need admin, so actually all of a sudden now you could have this times 5. And by the way, I'm talking about a very small company that has just 100 employees. Meaning you're going to make this money over and over and over and over again. And all you had to do is get into this one business. You got into this one business, and now you're looking at making 10, 15, 20, 25,000 pounds on a continuous basis. You don't actually need a ton of companies. You don't need like 10 companies to work with. One company, you supply one person, and then you get in with them again, with someone else, with someone else, with someone else. You sit back, and then actually you've got 2 companies, right? If you could just get 2 companies to work with you, you'll get a lot of business won. That's how recruitment is. It's actually a lot easier than other businesses where you don't need to get into multiple companies.